am here to finish my recap on 90 Day Fiancé Season 3 Tell All. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for being here. And to all of my nieces and nephews, thank you so much for your continued support. We're going to go ahead on and continue this review of the Tell All. But before we do that, I want to say a special thank you to everyone who super chatted. Mona R, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Jana Myers, thank you so much for the $15 super chat. Kathy Englishby, thank you so much for the $19.99 super chat. Loretta Powell, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. And Inu Blue, thank you for the $10 super chat. I apologize for not being able to thank you earlier. You know your auntie don't have on glasses, and when I don't have on glasses, I can't see shiznit, okay? All right, well, let's go ahead on and finish this. So where we left off at, y'all, we was talking about the little fight that happened. So, you know, basically, Anfisa did not like the fact that Paola was trying to get, you know, George's attention because, you know, basically the producers was like, he need to sit up. And so, you know, she's just been waiting and longing for an opportunity to say something to Paola anyway. So, you know, it pops off and everything. And, you know, she's like, she gave me the finger, you know, and Sean Robinson is sitting there like, you know, what's going on? What happened? Let me tell you, you got to be ye so ready. You got to always have your feet flat to the floor, just ready to jump up and leap at any given time, Sean. You cannot let something like this catch you off guard, just in case you need to break, you know, you need to break off, or in case you need to jump in. You can't be sitting there as a host and don't know what the hell is going on. You got to be quick up on your toes, boo. You got to be quicker than that. You got to always have them daggone cards. Them cards that TLC give you, you got to always have them joints at the tip like this, because you don't ever know when you got to get up into a fight, into a little battle up on the stage. Okay, battle royale. So basically, you know, Anfisa, you know, it's like, you know, how you going to call somebody you was talking about me last year? Why are you provoking me? So Paola was like, I ain't nobody provoking you, girl. Ain't nobody thinking about you. So Anfisa was like, you was thinking about me. You was thinking about me last season. That's all I talk about. That's all you talk about is me. And Paola was like, girl, please, you ain't nobody. You ain't nothing but a two-bit mail order, lick the stamp and send it off bride. And so, you know, Anfisa, you know, she gets mad. She runs over there and jumps up on Paola. So Paola was like, come on, I dare you. Hit me. Hit me. Girl, I will drop kick you in here, okay? So basically, Anfisa's like, you know, I need to really backslap you and blah, 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 blah. Paola was like, I'm trying to tell you right now, you can go ahead and act like you're going to hit me if you want to. You don't know how much weight I bench press. I will kick your butt all up and down this cotton freaking. I will kick your butt up and down here, all right? So basically, you know, everybody's trying to get in it and everything. So Paola tells the girl, I will take you down. So she walks on stage with Russ behind her, talking about how disrespectful everybody is. And so, you know, basically, you know, Chantel says, I understand what you went through last season. So Anfisa was like, what, girl, you talking or you smiling? She's like, I'm doing both. I understand how you feel. It's one thing to talk about somebody's actions, but it's a whole different thing when you start sitting up there talking about, you know, somebody's, how they look. So anyway, they go in the back and everything. Like I said, they all go back there and they attack the pizza and everything. You know, they're eating as if they've never eaten before. And then Molly, you know, basically goes back there and she wants to talk about the fact that, you know, she had not abused Louise and that, you know, this was just a, what is that across the screen like that? Oh, okay. hey, boo. And so basically, she's sitting there and, she wants to defend herself. And so she's like, it's mighty funny that Louise is calling you all and saying things like that. Get that bitch on the phone. So David was like, you want me to call him? So Molly was like, yeah, call him. So basically, she calls, basically him. David tries to call and, it goes into the voicemail and everything. And so Molly is mad because, basically she doesn't know, she's still a little shaken up. She doesn't know whether or not Louise is going to pop up on the set, and she doesn't know whether or not, somebody else is going to call him or they going to Skype him in. TLC a little dirty like that. They don't mind Skyping a mofo in. So, Molly wants to try to get to it before it gets back out there on stage so that, she can have some control over it. But I'm afraid, Molly, you're not going to have any control over this, but you're just going to have to sit back and enjoy the ride. So now we're back, with Nicole and Ozon. Everybody basically goes in because Effie's, she wants a separate room and everybody's talking and laughing and kiki and everything. And we hear the producer was like, hush up with all the conversation. It's time to get out here and make this money. And so, they all come back on the set and everything. And then we back with Ozon and Nicole. And so, Ozon, they start talking about the finances. Sean brings up the fact that, Nicole's father was angry about Nicole spending so much money on Hassan. And so basically Nicole was like, look, it ain't none of my family's business what I do with my money, but they the one that's fronting and financing all of this. Or is it TLC that's financing this? Because the show ain't Hassan's family because they done already spent $6,000 on a wedding for you. I don't know whose money it was, whether or not it was the money that you had already sent out or not, but according to the sister, Ma or whatever her name was, she done spent money and she ain't spending another dime. So basically we find out that Nicole has, they base her and Hassan basically has the marriage certificate and that the wedding is going to be in 2 days. So they start talking to Hassan about having a job and not having a job. Nicole says that Hassan is going to try to get a job, that she plans on being out there for a year, and that he's going to get a job. Hassan got the nerve to make a little side comment and talk about he going to work like all other normal people do. There's nothing normal about you, my dear. Anytime you can sit there, Hassan, on that television, okay, at the tell-all, and say that you would not work at a job because you had to be at Nicole's beck and call every time she called, I call BS on the play. Now, Hassan, as I said, for all of you all who have not seen it, they go in to start talking about, the money and stuff like that. And he says that, basically he was working at a cafe and he would, spend his time, when Nicole would call and he, basically making love with her over the telephone, he got fired from his job. And so, Petro was like, wait a minute, scream what? No, when Chantal and I was dating one another, we tried to make sure that we had our phone calls at nighttime. We didn't have our phone calls during the day where it disrupted our ability to make money. And so, basically Nicole is sitting there. She's smug as a bug in the rug because for the one time she gets to talk to Hassan. Now, we have all seen Nicole at every tell-all. Every tell-all makes several attempts to call Hassan on the phone and he is not answered. So for her to be sitting there beside him, she's not going to say one thing, okay? So basically this wedding is set for 2 weeks from today. We don't know what in the world has happened. We don't know whether or not Nicole has got married or not. We know that she's come back to the United States. She alleges that she's going to be there for a year. So basically Hassan is like, when I come to the United States, I'm getting me a job, mofo. I'm going to be out there. So, the lady was like, oh, okay. So, basically Pedro, the Colombia girl, Paola, and everybody else told him, it ain't going to be easy for you to get a job when you get here. It wasn't even easy for Nicole to get one. Nicole is basically working at a barista. So how in the hell do you think that you're going to leave there and you're going to come over here? So Paola makes a little sly comment out of her mouth and say, well, he basically going to be washing dishes. Let me tell you something. An honest day work ain't never hurt nobody. And there's nothing demeaning about that man coming over here if he has to and washing dishes. Somebody got to wash them because we all eat. So I didn't like the fact that Paola had the nerve to say something about, him washing dishes and everything. I just thought it was, absolutely degrading of her to say something like that. it's a respectable job. What's not respectable is to take a naked picture in front of your daddy. How about that? So I just think that a lot of them needed to sit back and shut the you know what up. And then David had the nerve to say something about it. David, you the last person on God's green earth that needs to say anything about anybody not having a cotton freaking job. Like, really. Like, sit back and shut the entire fuck up. Okay? So, all I'll say is, basically everyone, all denies having a girlfriend. Now, as you all remember, I had a young lady that came out on my video and mentioned that, she, had a relationship with Hassan. She mentioned that she was also the young lady who was on the videotape with him. So when Hassan is asked by Susan Roberts, was he engaged to this girl? Did he know the girl? He gonna sit up there and say that he was drunk. He was drunk calling. Now, he tries to admit the fact that he has had other women. But, he doesn't want, the wedding is 2 weeks away, so he doesn't want Nicole to get scary and run away. Now, how in the hell you going to drunk call somebody early in the morning? And you're going to sit there and say that you don't remember what the hell that the girl said. Okay? You don't remember her name. If you're going to tell the truth, tell the whole damn truth. You don't have to mince words. You don't have to tell lies about it. Hassan, tell the truth. And Nicole is sitting there and just oblivious to what's going on. So Sean was like, Nicole, I don't understand. Why would you stay with this man, given all this information and all these newfound revelations that you have? So Hassan says, because she loves me. He makes fun of it. So she was like, Hassan, look, I'm not talking to you. You're not taking this seriously. You want to sit up there and joke around and everything and play games and mince words and make it seem like this is so damn funny. But you know what? I want to know, Nicole, how do you feel about this? So, Nicole is like, we decided that we were going to, be reunited. We decided that we was going to put everything in the past and have a new beginning. So I just feel like we have a new beginning in this loveless relationship. How dumb can you be? And then you got a baby in tow. David said, you wonder why visas get turned down. David, shut up. Like, I found myself saying, shut up to David and Paola and Russ the whole entire tell-all. Shut up. Nobody gives a what you think or what you have to say. He said, you wonder why these visas get turned down because this man is not taking it seriously. And so I was like, even though David has a point there and his point is well taken, it ain't well taken from his ass. First of all, let that button loose. He said, who calls someone and leaves a message like that? Nicole says that she may be crazy for continuing to stay in this relationship, but damn it, she's staying in it. She says that, her man is going to get a job and he going to be taking care of her and baby May. Cheers to Hassan getting a job and taking care of Nicole and baby May. Because I don't see it happening, Captain. I see it coming on my tax dollars. That's exactly where I see this coming out of. Since your family don't have nothing to do with it. Okay, congratulations. So now we see Russ and Paola, who y'all know y'all auntie has not watched the whole entire season. So I managed to get through their little mess. So basically, they Skype in Juan. Because they wanted, Russ doesn't really have anything going for him. Nobody wants to know about their disastrous relationship. So basically, they Skyped Juan in. Juan looked like he's staying up in somebody's hotel room and everything. And he's, just grinning like a chazzy cat. Because this is his opportunity to get his, fame. His 5 minutes of fame. And so basically he sits on there and talks about Russ like a dog and says how Paola don't need to be with him. Knick-knack, patty-rack, and give a daggone dog a bone. And so, basically, he goes on to disclose that Paola, there's a guy over there, in Colombia that Paola still has feelings with. And feelings for. And guess what? Paola doesn't want to even continue the conversation. Because she probably knows that Juan has bust her out. She wanted them to get that man off the screen fast as hell. Do you understand what I'm saying? And Juan thinks that it is so cute. But let me tell you, karma is a mother for ya. It will come around. What goes up must go down, and what goes around comes back around. Let me tell you something, Juan. You may think that you live a high off the hog and you got your 5 minutes of fame, but what is it going to cost you to do that? I don't understand why you think that this was funny, but it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny, and she did not want to continue the conversation. So now we sit back and we go with Marley, okay? Because trust and believe me, the questions was going they were just this how the questions was going. So now we come back to Marley. When we should have wrapped Marley up in the giddy up and excuse her ass off the sofa, we come back to Marley. And so they show, you know, Louise in the house acting a fool and all of that kind of stuff. Marley says that she felt like a prisoner in her own home. And while Louise was acting like a fool and playing the music and all that, and he left that day. So basically, when we looked at the film, and all of this is my opinion, when we looked at the taping of the episode, when we saw all of this stuff going down, Louise had his last ditch effort to get Marley to whoop his ass. Now we know that he was in the guest bedroom on the telephone. He probably was on the phone with his scheming buddy, and he was like, "Look, I'm telling you, flick her out, make her mad, play some music real loud, just get erratic so she could put the paws up on you and call the police. This your last ditch effort." And you know we had already made plans for you to get the hell up out of there. So you know you're gonna have to get the paws put up on you, because you know what? She's not playing with you. I heard she went to a divorce lawyer and an immigration lawyer. So Louise plays the music and everything, and he's, you know, doing this stuff, and Marley kind of, you know, roughhouses the speaker, breaks her fingernail in the process, and she says that this is the same day Louise made laugh. Now you tell me that he won a vacation, Marley. This is what you want to tell me? She didn't learn anything, y'all. And let me tell you why she didn't learn that. She said this had been going on for days and that this man had not been talking to her. And this was absolutely the last straw. She said she hated that she put her kids in the middle of all of this. But she had been dating this man for 2 years and she loved him. She thinks that he wanted the good time Marley and all that kind of stuff, and he just didn't want the kids. He didn't even want the good time Marley. He wanted the good time visa. He wanted that U.S. American green card. But what he should have did, instead of him calling Pedro and David, that ass should have been calling Muhammad to find out how to lay low and, okay, lay low, spread it wide, you know what I'm saying, going to the fish market, do whatever you got to do in the fish market, then come back up and say I'm allergic to seafood. Because Muhammad played it to the point where he could get his cotton freaking visa, and now he's living in Texas. He's living his damn best life. So what he should have been doing, instead of calling them mofos, he should have been calling Mohammed so that he could find out how to do what okay? So Pedro says to Louise, you know, so Sean asked Pedro, so, you know, Pedro, when you was talking to Louise, what was he saying to you? So Pedro said, you know, basically he felt like Marley ain't love him. That's what he told me. He felt like she was only using him. Using him for what? For the D and for a babysitting job. And so she was like, what? So she was like, David, what he said? David was like, he basically said the same thing to me. He said he was over there getting, you know, abused and used and all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, and I did think that way until I saw the stuff that was going on. You know, basically, it's two sides to a story, but I believe Louise's side because I have been on the down low list. Here's the thing. David would have went off and had a cotton freaking fit if he knew that somebody was sitting out there talking about him like that, or talking about Annie like that, or scheming on the background and saying, you know what, you need to get the hell up out of here because he hasn't paid the bots, and now your family is embarrassed and humiliated in Thailand because everything that they said that they were going to have and that they were going to get from this United States man, he didn't do any of it. So guess what? Her family is walking around there with mud on their damn face. But see, ain't nobody over there talking about your stuff, David. You understand what I'm saying? He had a whole lot that he had to say today. And I didn't know whether or not it was because the button was pulling or because the thread was thin on his ass. But he had a whole lot to say. And I really didn't appreciate him over saying anything. So basically, you know, Marley was like, you know, I did get mad at him. So David was like, you know, I got a videotape. Louise sent me a videotape of Marley, doing what she did to him. And she was like, yeah, I did get mad because I saw the porn on there. Let me tell you something, Marley. You still didn't have a right to put your hand on him. So the next thing you know, they bring Olivia out. Olivia is fit to be tied. She is done, and she is the mature one in this relationship. Olivia makes a decision to come out there and let them know, look, let me tell you something. My mother already dating another man. She said she want me back in the house and she want to spend time with me. But my mother got some young man that she already messing with. And so I ain't going back home. Because you know what? If she moved the man in there and they break up again, I don't want to be the shoulder that her ass got to cry on and lean on. And so, Molly kind of side-eyeing, Olivia and looking at Olivia kind of crazy. So Sean was like, is that true, Molly? You got a new boyfriend? I heard rumors on the streets said you got one. And so Molly was like, yeah, I got one and he young too. And I'm going to do what I do. I'm just out here having fun. Olivia's face was so cotton freaking disgusted that Molly said that. And like she said, Sean asked Olivia, did you meet him? She said, yeah, but I don't care nothing about him. I don't care nothing about him. He just somebody else that's going to move up in the house. So she said, Olivia, are you going to move back home? Olivia said, no, I'm discovering my damn self. I'm discovering the things that I like and the things that I don't like, just like my mother is. And I'm not coming back up in the house because you know what? My mother, when she sat there at that ice skating rink and said I may make the same mistake twice, is already making the same mistake twice. I don't know why Molly is one of those women who can absolutely not be by herself. But it is a fact that Molly cannot be by herself, and she needs to be by herself for the sake of her damn children. How in the entire, I can't do it. I cannot do it. So basically, Molly was like, Louise was saying that he was going to leave, basically when he got here. And so Pedro was like, yeah, that's true. I mean, my man told me once I finish this paperwork, I'm the hell up out of here. From one DR man to another DR man. So now the tea really gets spilled, huh? Drinking that. So basically, you done told Pedro what your plan was. Did Pedro tell you what his was? Did Pedro tell you that his was to be disrespectful to the family and to make things so complicated that Chantel no longer wanted him anymore or found him interesting? I tell you what, y'all hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button for your auntie. Let me know you here. Okay? Please let me know you here. So basically, Sean goes back and she wants to talk to George about the damn line. For what? We didn't want to talk to George about lying for. That's what George do. He lies. So basically, George sat there, and lied and they talked to George about, going to the lawyer and all that. They showed the clips because they showed more clips than they did conversation. And they showed the clips, and George basically said the reason why he lied to Aunt Fiza was because he had forgot. So this man got amnesia, dementia, or Alzheimer's. Like, which one does he have? I mean, we know that he got a problem with pushing back. But which one does he have? So basically, David told him that, they when they get mad at each other, they're real vindictive and they do anything. And they say anything to one another. And so George got pissed off and was like, what you need to mind your business. So, Piola's back in the conversation now. And so, of course, they going back and forth and they hit, and basically Aunt Fiza tells Piola, stay in your lane. And so, they going back and forth and they arguing and everything. And Aunt Fiza said, so what you going to do? You going to do porn next season? And so Piola was like, you know what? At least I got a job. So Aunt Fiza said, how much you making off that calendar? For all of you all that don't know, Piola got a calendar out, and the calendar is $59.99. Who the hell is going to pay $59.99 to see Piola on the calendar? Show won't be your auntie. But Aunt Fiza's show asked her, are you doing porn next year? She said, as long as I'm working. So let me tell you something. And she got a job. Let me tell you something. It would not surprise me one little bit if that woman sat out there next season and decided that she was going to do a porn video. I'm not shocked by it, because that's why you mad with Aunt Feezy. You mad with Aunt Feezy because she was making a little dime and a dollar off of what she was doing. Now, you know, Piola's going to sit there and say, well, we basically was on your husband's side. George came to us and he was telling us about how much of a dog in a hole you was, and he needed your help, and he needed our help. And so that's why me and Lauren got on your ass, and we were saying the stuff that we were saying. And so George, you know, of course, you know, in the land of denial and lying, saying that, you know, he didn't do that. But Paola, earlier you said that you was just joking. Now the truth coming out. Which one is the real tea? Is the real tea, Paola, that you was joning and playing games? Or did you try to get on George's side so that you all could be against Aunt Feezy? You know, you all are jealous of her. But one thing that I have to say is Aunt Feezy is one nasty woman. That is a nasty, angry woman. And I don't know if so I do believe that George solicited their help. I do believe that George is the one that came back there crying about his wife and spilling all the tea on her, because we have seen him spill the tea on her. And so you know what? He wanted to get the mean girls, because that's exactly what they are. They are mean girls. He wanted to get the mean girls involved and just tear her down and make her the season miserable for her. And Paola, and Feezy has forgiven her husband, but she is not forgiving Paola. And let me tell you something, Paola. You really do need to stay in your lane, because your boyfriend Juan sat up there and bust you out, boo. He said you still in love with him, and you really never said even when that situation came up and Paola was sitting there and Sean had asked her a question. Does she still have feelings for this particular man? And Paola lied and said, no, I don't have any feelings. She looked at Russ, but she stopped shy of saying, I'm in love with him. That girl is not in love with that man. She doesn't respect him. She doesn't care anything about her, and it is a damn shame. And just as blind as Nicole is to the mess of Azan, so is Russ to the mess of Paola. Paola don't care anything about him. He's an opportunity for her. He is somebody who's a means to another means for her. And now that, you know, she's trying to come up with all these different tricks and schemes about, you know, a rare blood disease and losing a baby and him not being supportive and the family situation. Look, Paola, we already have figured out from your Instagram that it was not 4 years since you had seen your family. You had actually seen your family a couple of years ago. And number two, when you went out to go and see your family, didn't you just say 2 hours earlier that you had just had the miscarriage? That's why I cannot swing with it, rock with it, lean with this storyline, because it's full of a whole bunch of hoes. So basically, that is the end of this. George jumps up, you know, because Russ is arguing back and forth with Aunt Feezy and trying to get Aunt Feezy to listen, talking about, you know, he's Mr. Do-Good, and their intention was for them to apologize. And George's like, you're not going to talk to my wife like that. And then they get up, and now we got to come back next week. Next week, we have to be back, and we got to look at another bit of this mess. It is going to be the day before my vacation. I am going to be going on vacation for my birthday, so I'm not sure how much I am going to be out here. Yes, I am a Leo, the lion, and I am going to be off the grid for a couple of days to celebrate my birthday. For many of you all who have asked, yes, I did get a new P.O. box, and that P.O. box number is 2909. So it's Auntie's advice at P.O. Box 2909, Hyattsville, Maryland 20784. If you would like to send me some a card or something like that, please do not feel obligated. I'm telling you, do not feel obligated to send me anything. But I know a lot of you all have been asking me about my P.O. Box number. Later on tonight, we will be going live, 8 o'clock. Sarah, Lena, and Josie, please be ready, because we will be going live at 8 o'clock p.m. to recap this, where I will be opening up the phone lines so that you all can get involved and you can say exactly what you would like to say. I would love to do it right now, but I am using my cell phone to record this and not the other mechanisms, so I won't be able to bring you all in. But set your clocks, set your watch, do whatever you need to do, and be back here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will be opening up the phone lines for you to discuss the tell-all. I know when I was on Facebook last night, a lot of us just did not like it. We thought it was too slow and it was too much going on. It was entirely too much going on. But I hope that you all have enjoyed this recap. And tonight, you all will be able to recap for yourselves. Thank you so much for spending your lunchtime with me. I appreciate all of my nieces and nephews from all over the world. I see that I have people from Netherlands, from Australia, from Canada, from Russia, from India. I just, like, you all are all over the place. So I just, you from everywhere, and I so appreciate this audience and this family growing the way it has. Thank you all so much for your loving support and for your kindness. So again, I'll see you all at 8 o'clock. Be good to one another. Mwah.